I'm Kaye the Tax Lady, and I made this video for you to talk about what it means if you receive a 1099 miscellaneous at the end of the tax year instead of a W-2, and then how to determine whether or not you are an employee or an independent contractor, also known as being self-employed, and what you can do if you think you are misclassified. You think that you are an employee versus being self-employed. So if your employer submits a 1099 miscellaneous to you instead of a W-2, that means you are considered self-employed and not an employee. When companies do this, no taxes are taken out of your pay, your employer avoids paying their share of employment taxes, and you are required to pay 100% of them when you file your tax return. You know these taxes as Social Security and Medicare. If you are really an employee, this approach is not acceptable to the IRS. W-2 employees have their employers pay half of these taxes and the other half is taken out of their pay. And when you're treated as an employee, you receive benefits such as paid holidays, vacation days, health insurance, and so on. Independent contractors don't get these benefits, and they also are not protected by employment laws, such as minimum wage requirements, rest breaks, Family Medical Leave Act, and discrimination or harassment based on sex, disability, race, or religion. Something that I've seen over the past few years is the IRS attempting to put a stop to employers who are treating employees as if they are self-employed. And the major key they use to determine whether or not an individual is an employee or self-employed is control. What degree of control does the employer or the worker have over the work itself? For example, who provides the supplies, tools, and other materials that are necessary to do the work? Who decides what order or what sequence to follow when performing the work? Who decides when the work is performed? Who sets that schedule? And who decides where it's performed? Who provides training? Can the worker continue to advertise and offer their services to other people? And can the worker send someone else from their staff to do the work, or are they required to do the work themselves? Now, the IRS website has several informational pages regarding this issue, and I encourage you to take a look if this is a concern for you. They have a form that's called the SS-8, and either the employer or an employee can use this form to ask the IRS to determine whether or not the person is an employee or is self-employed. It's 4 pages long, and it asks numerous questions under the 3 categories of control: behavior, finance, and the relationship. And there are times when the IRS will allow employers to treat workers as independent contractors even though they're employees. And that is when it's customary in that particular field. However, the employers do not have a case if they treat some workers that are in the same exact position as employees and then treat others as independent contractors. If you believe that your employer has misclassified you, you can report it to the IRS by completing 2 forms with your tax return. The first is the SS-8 that I've previously mentioned, and the other is Form 8919, and that form is used to calculate your 50% share of the Social Security and Medicare wages. But having said all of this, my experience is when clients come in and tell me that they feel like they are employees and not self-employed, and I tell them about these forms that they can fill out, they don't want to do it. And that's typically for one of 2 reasons. Either they like their employer or fear them and don't want to lose their job. And then the second one is that reporting your income on Schedule C when you get a 1099 miscellaneous allows you to also deduct expenses such as your miles that you drive back and forth to work. And sometimes when you take these deductions, it results in less taxes for you than if you were to go ahead and pay half of the Social Security and Medicare taxes. Now, I hope you found this helpful. And as always, if you have any questions, please feel free to contact me through my website at kayethetaxlady.com. Now, that's Kaye, thetaxlady.com.